Hello everyone, welcome to our very first chess lesson. This lesson is based on step 1 of the Dutch step method lessons. Chess is played on a board of 64 squares, as you could see. We call the squares white squares and black squares, regardless of what the color is. The bottom right square must always be a light color. As you see, the squares keep alternating colors. Now, we will introduce the pieces. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hold on. This piece is the king. You could tell because it's the tallest piece in the game and usually has a Salem on top. The king is the most important piece of the game. The queen, almost as tall as the king, has a pointy crown. It used to be the weakest piece in the game, now it is the strongest piece. This is the rook, also called the castle. In the olden days they used to use a chariot. The bishop came from the elephant and is still called elephant in Russian. The knight has always been a horse from the start, and the pawns over here are simply the foot soldiers of the game. Hold on, we will continue momentarily. So, how do we know what square is what? Each square on the board has coordinates. As you see on this board, we have letters and numbers. The letters represent files. The numbers represent ranks. So this whole thing over here will be the A file. This whole rank over here will be the third rank. So to name a square, we find what file it's on, followed by the rank. Would you know what square H1 would be? That would be right over here. On the H file, first rank, this square is H1. Can you find E4? If you guessed here, you guessed correctly. Now hold on 1 second, we will continue momentarily. Give me a second. Ignore the noise. Okay. Okay. What square is the knight on in this position? Pause it and resume it when you want to find out the answer. The answer is B5. Now, what square is the black queen on? If you got F4, you got it right. There's also something called diagonals. Diagonals mean that the corners are touching. When we refer to a certain diagonal, we use the start and ending squares. This diagonal is the A1 to H8 diagonal. This one will be the A2 B1 diagonal, or the C1 A3 diagonal. Now we will show you quickly how to set up the board. This is just, you don't have to memorize this at this point, but we'll show you anyway. Hold on, we just have to get more pieces. Okay. Give me a second. And here's the board, ready to start a game. Remember, bottom right square always must be a white or light color. In this lesson, you learned what files, rings, and diagonals are, and you were introduced to all the pieces and how to find out what what we call each square on the chessboard. Please do lesson 1 on your workbook. That's the first 2 pages. First page, write down the names of the squares on which the pieces are. For example, if let's say a knight is on e4, write down e4. For the second page, naming the squares B, put a circle, square, and diamond on the squares where it tells you to. This concludes lesson 1.